back, Sinners, to another episode of Saturday Night Cinema. As always, I'm your host, Sawyer St. Sin. And tonight we're going to finish out the month of April, Resurrection Month, with Day of the Dead. Yeah, there was Night of the Living Dead, and then there was Dawn of the Dead, and now we're at Day of the Dead. So, the third movie in the Dead series by... Did you say it? Okay, yeah. Romero, right? Okay. So, couple things I want to point out because you know if you've been here for any length of time how I am. So of course he worked with Tom Savini in special effects, correct? But you didn't know, or maybe you did, I don't know, Greg Nicotero, another, again, if you've been here for a while, he's one of my favorites. This was the first movie that he kind of got his hands into the special effects as well, and I would say that he was guided by two great people in the industry to be guided by. I mean, other than Baker, who else would you want to learn under than Savini? I mean, come on now, right? He's a freaking genius. Anywho, so this one follows our scientist and military personnel to a underground missile silo bunker thing, right? So they're all underground, which really disoriented me for some of the movie because I was like, what time is it? What part of the day is it? Why is this dude drinking constantly? Anyways, so the scientists, are there to experiment on the zombies, which, I don't really know how I feel about that. Technically they are still kind of human and you probably shouldn't test on them, but, hey, guess, whatever you need to do for science, right? So first off, we see that one of our military guys, who is, I think, a love interest of one of the only female, I should say, in the whole bunker system, which she is a scientist. You can already see that Miguel is his name, and he's already kind of starting to lose it a little bit, right? He's already starting to kind of not be okay mentally. So, we see one of the scientists. He's got a theory that, you can domesticate these zombies, right? You can reteach them some things, so to say. Which he kind of proves with one of the zombies, which he has named Bub, after a nickname that his dad had, which, he says it in the movie. He's like, I don't know why you would nickname a surgeon Bub, but hey, whatever. So we see some things from Bub, right? We see that, one, he picked up the telephone and kind of murmured something. He was the scientist was like, say hello to Aunt Elise, or, something like that. He picked up the phone and, he picked up the razor and was mimicking, shaving his face.
Bless you.
And then he picked up a book. The book was Salem's Lot, by the way. I tried to watch that movie the other day, and then I forgot that it was 3 hours long and had to stop it. And he picked up it and was looking through it. And then when the soldiers came in, he saluted the captain. And I was like, whoa. You know, and then they handed him like the captain's, like they unloaded the gun and handed it to him, and you know, he kind of like seemed to like remember, you know, how to handle a firearm, which comes into play later, just saying. So it was really interesting how they did that with Bub, and oh, poor little, so sweet. I love Bub. So anyways, you know, tensions are high. The military guys are like, listen, you freaking scientists, if y'all don't give us some kind of something here, like, we're like, you know, we're done. So, y'all hear that? Sorry about that. Car alarms. Even out in the middle of nowhere, you still hear them. Anywho, so when they have this like little cavern situation where they have placed some zombies that they like, you know, take for their experiments, right? And you know, like the scientist is like, hey, yo, listen, like you gotta, like one of them's like, you gotta slow down on like on your shit here, man, because like these guys aren't gonna want to go back up top. Like there's just more and more and more zombies coming. Like they're not gonna want to go and like fetch these things for you. So you need to slow it down. But like, you know, there's a lot of filler as far as just like seeing the mindset of people underground, right? Let's skip to the, you know, the big, like the big finish, right? Okay, so they're at the area trying to get zombies for the experiments. When Miguel's leash, I guess you would say, on the zombie breaks, and she attacks somebody and rips his throat out, and as he, you know, is getting attacked, he like, you know, fires his gun and he kills Greg Nicotero's oh my gosh, his character. So he's dead, and then Miguel gets bitten, and like all kinds of chaos happens, right? So we've got two dead military men, and Miguel has his arm like bitten into. Well, Miguel like runs off and like, you know, collapses. And so his girlfriend decides to cut off his arm, you know, up here, like before the infected area. And then she cauterizes the wound with a freaking makeshift, like, torch. See, I would just rather them, like, just shoot me in the head and be done with it. So anyways, now the military, like, you know, personnel come to them and they want to shoot Miguel. And she's like, no, I think I got it in time. Like, he'll be fine. And, you know, they fight over it. And, you know, she was like, if something happens, I'll take care of it. Like, I'll personally take care of it. And they're like, cool. Well, y'all aren't coming back into the into the barracks area, and we're not sharing any of our food and shit with you anymore. So, sorry about your luck. Right. So they take Miguel in, they lay him down. She's like, look, he's gonna need some morphine and shit. Like, I'm gonna have to go to the lab and get some stuff. So, like, one dude, the pilot that flies the helicopter, he stays with Miguel. And the other two go to the lab. Well, military guys, of course, like, grab them, grab the other scientists. Because they freak out because they see that the scientist that was doing like experiments with Bub and stuff. He was feeding Bub like human meat. And, so they pushed about like, well, where did you get it? Who'd it come from? What's going on? And so he shows them the freezer where Mr. Nicotero's character, Johnson, where his body is. Decapitated, because we saw that his head was now hooked up to like some kind of weird electrodes in like one of the labs. So, the military personnel are ticked off because like that wasn't in like the game plan. The game plan wasn't to take our dead like people and feed them to zombies. It wasn't in the plan. So they kill the main scientist, and take the other two that were trying to help Miguel and another scientist. They take them, to the RV where like, everybody is, and he's like, listen, Mr. Pilot Man, you're gonna fly us out of here. These people are gonna stay here. And like, there's no, there's no negotiation. He's like, there's not, no. And, well, the military personnel show them that they're not playing around, and they shoot the scientist. But, and they throw the other two, like, in, like, the gate area where they were, like, basically herding zombies. So they opened that so that the zombies could get to the people, but, they escape the zombies, but they're still, like, out in the open with these zombies, like, everywhere, and all they have for protection is, like, a 2x4. So then they, like, beat the pilot kind of into submission, sort of. But he's able to get the better of them. He takes their guns, and he goes off to find the other two that were in, the zombie lair. And while all this is going on, Miguel decides that he's going to get up. And he's going to go to the elevator that is in, that takes them up top. And he messes with the circuit board. So you can't like bring it down. You have to have the control up top. He lets the zombies through the gate in the base. He lays down on the elevator, and as the zombies are eating him and attacking him, he pushes the button and he lets all the zombies in to the underground bunker. And so, our military guys now have to deal with that, which the captain was like, I'm saving myself, peace out. And he took the only cart, like golf cart, and headed to where he could lock himself in. Oh, but still, one of his right-hand men is able to get through the zombie horde and shoot open the door that, the captain locked. But, I mean, he ran out of bullets in one area, so he just, ended up shooting himself in the head. I guess it's better than feeling the attack of zombies, right? Anyways, but Bub, like, his chain breaks during all of this too, and he's just like walking around, and he finds, his friend's body, the scientist's body, and he has, as much emotion as a zombie can like admit, but he is angry. But he gets a gun, and he starts like going after the captain, and he doesn't like kill the captain, but he shoots him enough to where he can't really move very well, and Bub's zombie friends get to him. Oh no. So the three that are trying to escape, right? Yeah. So they have to climb this like huge ladder out of there, and they do it, and luckily for them, the helicopter, right, was fueled up, because one of them had mentioned like, hey, don't fuel it right now because there's like a shit ton of zombies and all the activity will get them excited. Wait until it's nighttime where they can't see you. So luckily someone did do their job, and the three of them fly to a deserted island, and as far as I know, they live happily ever after. The end. So I really enjoyed the movie. I'm a big fan of zombie movies anyways. I'm a big fan of zombies. I love them. They're great. I don't know. I find it fascinating that something can come back to life like that. If we really do have a zombie apocalypse, that might be a different story. I might not be so cool with it then, but watching it, it's great. Love it. Love it. But yeah, so that's all I gotta say about, that today. The version that I watched on Tubi was the VHS Vaults version. So after every commercial, it did that like blue screen when like the play and like it kind of crackled and then like it went into it. So it was really kind of like fun and cool. But then also like, watching things with commercials in the middle does get kind of like, ugh, like not again. But hey, I'm all about that free streaming. What can I say? If I don't have to pay for it, it's the best. So you guys are going to be in for a treat next week. Oh, not just next week, I guess. Like the whole month of May. We're going to do Grindhouse. So you're probably going to hear about some things that you've never heard about before. Or maybe you have, and even better, right? So I will see you next week to start Grindhouse month. Yeah. Have a good evening. Bye.